Claire Winters was known for her perfection. The youngest CEO in her company's history, she demanded precision, loyalty, and results. Employees admired her success but feared her sharp eyes that missed nothing. Except for one person. Ethan Cole. The night janitor. He was invisible by design, quiet, punctual, and humble. He always greeted everyone with a polite nod but never lingered. What puzzled Claire was his pattern. Every night, at exactly 12:30 a.m., he'd drop everything and rush out of the building, even if a job was half done. No overtime, no excuses, no socializing. At first, Claire didn't care. But then she started noticing. He refused bonuses. He wore the same worn-out shoes. And once, when the company held a charity drive, Ethan dropped a small envelope in the box, but it contained almost half his paycheck. That struck Claire deeply. Why would a janitor donate so much when he clearly had so little? Her curiosity turned into quiet obsession. For weeks, she observed from her office window as Ethan disappeared into the night. Finally, one stormy Friday, she made a decision she'd never imagined herself making. She followed him. The rain lashed against the windshield as Claire's car trailed the old sedan down cracked city roads. The GPS showed they were leaving the downtown district and heading toward the poorer outskirts of the city. Ethan's car finally stopped outside an old, flickering streetlight near a rundown neighborhood. Claire parked at a distance and watched. Ethan stepped out with a box in his arms. Inside, she caught glimpses of food packets, toys, and small medical kits. He walked briskly toward a dimly lit building that looked like an abandoned daycare. Curiosity turned to disbelief when the door opened and children rushed toward him, squealing, "Mr. Ethan." Inside, the janitor transformed. The same man who scrubbed floors in silence was now smiling warmly, kneeling to hug the kids, handing out food, patching scraped knees, and listening to stories about their day. His eyes, once weary, now shone with something deeper than joy-love. Claire couldn't move. Her heart clenched as she realized, these weren't his children, yet he cared for them as if they were. Then she noticed a photo frame on a dusty shelf through the cracked window. A woman's smiling face beside Ethan's, his wife, maybe? The photo was old, slightly faded. When the storm thundered outside, one of the kids asked softly, "Will mommy ever come back like yours, Mr. Ethan?" Ethan's gentle smile faltered. He replied, "Sometimes, people go where pain can't reach them anymore. But we can still make them proud, right?" The children nodded. Tears welled in Claire's eyes. She'd followed him to uncover a secret, perhaps to confront him about company hours, but what she found was a man quietly building light in the darkest corners of the city. That night, as she drove home in silence, she couldn't stop thinking, why does someone with so little give so much? The following Monday, Claire couldn't focus. The numbers, the meetings, the board all blurred into meaningless chatter. Every time she saw Ethan mopping in silence, she saw those children's faces behind him. Finally, she called him into her office. "Ethan, I want to ask you something personal." He froze, worried. "Yes, ma'am?" "I saw you last Friday." He looked up sharply, guilt flooding his eyes. "You followed me?" Claire nodded slowly. "I didn't mean to intrude, but I had to know. Why are you doing all this, feeding those kids, paying for supplies, all on a janitor's salary?" Ethan's shoulders sagged. He sat down, the weight of years settling into his posture. "I used to be an engineer," he began quietly. "Had a wife, a little boy. We were happy. But when my wife got sick, I sold everything for her treatment. Still lost her. Then, my son." His voice broke. "A drunk driver hit our car while I was working late. After that, I couldn't go back to that life. I started working nights, quiet jobs, just to keep my mind from falling apart." He swallowed hard, eyes distant. "One night, I found a boy sleeping near the dumpsters outside the company. Reminded me of my son. He was hungry, scared. I brought him food. The next night, there were 2 more. Then 5. I couldn't turn away." Claire felt tears streaming down her cheeks before she realized it. Ethan looked up. "Please, don't fire me, ma'am. I'll pay back the charity money if it violated policy. I just can't stop helping them. For the first time, Claire couldn't speak as a CEO, only as a human being. She rose from her seat, walked around the desk, and placed her hand on his shoulder. Ethan, you're not fired. In fact, you've reminded me what real leadership means. That week, Claire visited the orphan center again, this time, not as a secret observer but with a truck full of supplies, blankets, and food sponsored by the company. When the children saw her, they froze, unsure. Then Ethan smiled and said, "Kids, this is Miss Claire. She's my friend." The children ran to hug her. In that embrace, something inside Claire shifted forever.